Hi, good morning everybody. Let's get this show started. All right, sorry about the post-game last game, guys. Just couldn't be done. You know, I've got to get my damn internet hooked up because I'm living, it's crazy how I'm living. I love this place a lot better where I'm at. But my goodness, without the internet, I'm a lost puppy. I really am. So we're going to take a look at a few things this morning before this game against the Kings, which we're going to talk about. But let's take a look at the practice lineup. Here we go. And as you can see on the first line, guys, we have Mitz, Thompson, and Tuck. We're doing everything. We're giving Mittelstadt, let's just look at this for a second. We're giving Mittelstadt every chance to not fail at this point now. Really, we are. I believe that this is almost a last-ditch effort to get him going. Like, you know, and I know he had the 3-assist game, but we need this guy playing like an 8th overall pick. We need this to happen soon. We really do. So Mittelstadt, Thompson, Tuck looks like it'll be the first line. Then we have Peterka, Cousins, and Quinn rounding out the second line, the kid line, I guess we could call it now. The line of the future, maybe the second line to the future. Eh? My goodness, that's just a good-looking line right there. And then on the third line, we have Asplund, Jost, and Olofsson. And on the third line, Girgensons, Krebs, Okposo, which seem to be clicking. What does seem to be clicking. And Skinner, of course, he won't be in the lineup, but he was practicing. And Hinnestros is out. As far as I know, Skinner was practicing. I didn't read the whole article, but from what I know. Now, the second pairing was, the blue liners. The first pairing is Samuelsson, Dahlin. Then the second pairing is Owen Power and Bryson. We really need to get Lyubushkin back. I'm starting to get worried this guy's injury prone. Then we got Clague, Fitzgerald to round out the bottom pair, and Pilot to round out the 7. In nets, we have Anderson and UPL. So I want to look at the schedule, guys, and we'll go right to that. All right, so there's the Kings. That's today, as we know. And then we're on a road trip. We go to Colorado, Arizona, and Vegas, the next 3. And then after that, we're back home to Tampa. And then we're at Columbus again. You can bet they'll be smelling blood in that game. I'm pretty sure Columbus will be up for that game like no other game this year. Then at home against Detroit and at Boston. We have a rough schedule, guys. It's a rough schedule. It is. I mean, we're at Colorado. We're at Boston. We're at Vegas. I mean, these are some hard games, you know. Arizona is not exactly a pushover either. Well, hold on one sec. Rosie's in here. Rosie, what are you doing? Okay, she's just standing there looking at me. It's kind of weird. And then we have LA, we have Tampa Bay, and Detroit, who's no pushover this year either. So, guys, we have some rough games coming up. Absolutely. Now, what I wanted to look at before I chit-chat a bit, and guys, I plan on getting some normal videos up tonight, okay? I do. I don't know about the post-game. I might have to do the post-game tomorrow. We'll see. Probably tomorrow. LA in their last 10 games are 4-3-3. They're 8-6-3 on the road. And the Sabres are, their last 10, 5-3-2. It's not bad now. For the first time in a while, it looks, you know, I'm surprised it's that good, to be honest. And then, but I guess we're moving away now from the losing streak. There's still some losses in there from that 8-game losing streak, but we're at least starting to move away from it. Might be one loss from it. I'd have to check that. Sabres at home, 6-8-2, guys. We got to get better at home. If we're going to have any hopes of a playoff spot, we got to get better at home. We're 500 on the road, which is all I'm expecting this year. If we're going to be a good home team, we could make the playoffs, and a good power play team. Those are the two things I was thinking before the year started. And right now at home, we're just not doing it yet. You know, we're dead last in the division. Tied with Ottawa at 12-14-2, but we're +6 in the goals for. Anyway, that probably, you know, we have the same regulation wins. Regulation overtime wins, they outdo us by 1, which is 12-11. That's why they got number 7, which I don't really care about right now, guys. Till we get winning, doesn't really matter, honestly. Now, something else I want to bring up, and then I'll blab a bit, okay? Jack Eichel's out. Now, he's been put on injury reserve, so that means he's out for a week. But he was put on injury reserve yesterday. That means he's eligible to come back for the Sabres game, which I hope. I hope he's there. Because I'll tell you what, guys, as good as they have had, they had a 13-2 start, right? Since then, they're 7-7-1. Here's the thing, they're 12-1 on the road. At home, the Vegas Golden Knights are 8-7-0. They're beatable at home. This is a team that can be beaten at home. We'll see. We'll see how it breaks down, guys, when we run into them. Jack Eichel, they said, though, is a lower body injury. So it has nothing to do with the neck, at least according to this report. It has nothing to do with his neck. I told you guys for about 2 years I'll be watching that with Jack Eichel. If he re-injures that neck, okay? He proved our doctors right that this operation maybe was risky, you know? I hope for his sake it doesn't happen. I mean, he's a human being. I hope the guy, you know, like has his career and, you know, whatever it is. Plus, I want to see him bug Vegas to trade him to Boston eventually. I want to see that happen. So I'll close that up, guys. I don't need the computer no more. We'll talk a bit about this game. I think the Sabres, if you look at the Kings, so you go to the goals for, you're going to see that the Kings are right there with us in the NHL as one of the top scoring teams. And the Kings also let in goals. So you know what? It's kind of a mirror image of ourselves with this team that we're playing. They're just in a softer division so they can win more games than us. That's really what's going on with the Kings and us, if you go look at their division. So I think the Sabres will be in tight in this one. I think it's going to be an up and down affair. It's not going to be, the hits will probably be something like 10-8, I figure, by the end of this game. It's not going to be like Pittsburgh, where it's a war out there. We had a lot of, and one thing I do want to say, guys, about last game, we should have won. They should have won that game. And I'm not blaming UPL. We should have won that. We should have found a way to win a game like that. The last two periods, we outplayed them. The hitting was good. That we had a ton of hits. We had a ton of shots, and we just couldn't find a way to win, which they're young. It's going to happen, guys. We're going to play good games and not win. It's going to suck. It's going to hurt. It's part of the game. It's part of the deal of a young team. But there's going to be great moments like the Columbus game. There's going to be moments this year that we're going to say, my goodness, you know, right? There's going to be moments like that. It happens. But in those two games against Pittsburgh, we got 1 point, and I think we were the better team of the two games combined. I think the Sabres were the better team overall. Just how I feel, and I'm usually pretty fair. You guys know that. I won't just say it because it's the Sabres. I think we were the better team in those two games. If you add up all the 6 periods in the overtime, just seemed like it's how it felt for me anyway. So anyway, guys, we're going to have to try and get this one, okay, and get right back to a game under 500. I don't want to start slipping from the 500 thing. We're 12-14, and we need to get this win. We can't afford to start slipping down again and start to lose a bunch of games. We can't afford to do that, or the season will be over by January, and I don't want that. I want to see the Sabres hanging around. I want to see by the end of January where we're starting to think playoffs are a chance. Just that. Just that. Nothing more than that. I just want to be able, I don't want to be able to say the season's done and we're looking at Connor Bedard and all these things. Not that early, guys. I'd rather drag the season out a bit, get further into the season before that time comes. Because that means we had, I wouldn't say a great season, but a fun season. I don't want to have one of those last placed team seasons. And you know, the truth, they're just not a last place team anymore. This is a good team now, what we have. We have a good young squad that are exciting. They skate like hell. They skate like the wind, guys. They do. This team can skate. We know this. We're the top scoring team in the NHL. Well, right there with Boston. Boston might be a percentage better now because the last game what happened. But, you know, overall, guys, if we tighten up defensively and get better defensively, which will happen. It will happen over time. Look how many superstars in the NHL don't play any defense, right? Till their later years. Steve Yzerman comes to mind. These guys that were just offensive juggernauts. They would just be out there scoring and passing and making plays. And then by the end of their career, they went from 130-point guys to 60, 70-point guys, 65-point guys. But they're smarter hockey players and they play better defensively and they know how to cover the ice better to stop the young kids from other teams from scoring. And that's, you know, what we have to do as we mature into still a very young team, guys. We're still going to be a young team even in a few years from now. We better get used to that term because we're going to be young for a while unless we start going out there and getting some seasoned vets on this team, which I don't think is time yet. Not yet. Be way too soon. You got to get your guys locked in, see where your money's at. You got to lock in Cousins. You got to, I can name other guys. I don't want to, but Cousins comes to mind right away. Of course, Dahlin's the big one. We know this. But we got to get these guys locked in. For real locked in. I'm not talking 2-year deals, 3-year deals. I'm talking 6, 7-year deals. You got to get them locked in. And once you have guys like that locked in, then you can go and look at free agency with what you have left because you know what your budget is. You got to go that route, I think, guys. We don't have a choice. We're going to have to get all this team locked down. And we'll know by then who's really has to go. And I think there's guys on the radar that they have to know if they want to keep their jobs. Granato and Adam said they got to start making the right decisions. Who's in that locker room long term? Just my thoughts on that one, guys. Anyway, guys, I'm going to make some videos tonight. Okay, probably won't be a post game, but I'm going to get some videos made when I get back. And I'll start doing it around, I don't know, maybe when I get back. I'll try to get them early so I can get them out early and at least I can finally put some videos out for the channel. All right, guys, let's see what the boys do tonight. Let's hope we win this one. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a skating affair. And I suspect we'll see Anderson and Nets, maybe. That's just a guess. See you tonight, guys. Have a good one.